Everyone, good Sunday evening. I'm meteorologist Daniel Graves. Apologize for interrupting your program here, but did want to talk about a tornado warning that was issued. It does include the far northern parts of Tangipahoa Parish. So let's examine what's happening on Storm Tracker. You can see not too much happening across most of southeast Louisiana. So if you're watching this and you're concerned, right now we are just talking about northern Tangipahoa Parish. That is included in our area. You're quiet elsewhere. And so as we look at this tornado warned storm, it's in effect until 7 o'clock. We've seen rotation kind of just on the Mississippi-Louisiana state line, and that rotation right now is near Osika, Mississippi. So if you have family members in that area, the tornado warning does slightly include the Kentwood area, but from what I'm seeing right now, that rotation passing just a little bit more to the north. So what I'm going to do here is kind of walk you through what is happening and what I'm seeing. There is no confirmation of a tornado on the ground. What we are seeing is it is radar indicated that there is some rotation right along the state line that could produce a tornado at any minute. And so that is why we are bringing you this coverage. It is moving off toward the east at 45 miles per hour. This is our reflectivity. It's showing you where some pretty heavy rainfall is. And it looks like they did trim the tornado warning just slightly north of the Kentwood area. So Lewiston, you're included in this, and then going into Mississippi, the Osika, Gladhurst, Chattawa area up toward Magnolia is where this tornado warning has been issued. And so we're seeing this heavy rainfall. There's also some hail associated with that. So that is another factor in these storms as they continue to move across the northeastern parts of St. Helena Parish into Tangipahoa Parish, the northwestern portions there. There is that good indicator of some hail. And as we're looking at the rotation, what I'm looking at here is where these greens are meeting the red. And so where we're mainly seeing that happening is into Mississippi. Kind of a broad rotation, does include parts of the northern parts of Tangipahoa Parish. And as this is racing off toward the east, up toward the Gladhurst, Progress area, Emerald, those areas will see that better chance for a tornado to form. Again, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is currently moving toward the east at 45 miles per hour. It's about 16 miles northeast of the Greensburg area. So just kind of along where this rotation is, we're going to kind of put a track on it to give you some timing of where this is going to be heading. If I could get my little bar here to pop up. There we go. And we are going to put a track on this. So if you are seeing this and you are in northern Tangipahoa Parish, you will want to seek shelter inside a windowless interior room until these storms pass. It's moving pretty quickly, so I should be out of your area here within the next 20 minutes or so. But if a tornado does happen to form, we want you to go ahead and be in that safe place in case we do have a tornado form in these storms. So kind of where this main rotation is, we're going to take it off toward the east at 45 miles per hour. And you can see that's well outside of the tornado warned area in that time. And again, to give you kind of some areas where that main rotation is, it's mainly areas in Mississippi. So Gladhurst, Emerald in the next 6 to 7 minutes, Progress in 10 minutes, and then Dillon 18 minutes. Again, that lies outside that tornado warned area. We can also check hail perimeters here, and you're really seeing that rotation with this indication in between Chattawa, if I'm saying that correctly, and Osika. So if you do have family members in that area, you'll want to let them know that they need to be seeking shelter now. Where you see the purples, and that extends into northern Tangipahoa Parish, is our hail indicator. So we could have some hail in some of these storms up to an inch in diameter, and some of these storms that were in southwest Mississippi did show some history of producing hail. And so as this is moving off toward the east, hail will also be an indicator. For the rest of the area, we still are under a tornado watch for Tangipahoa Parish, St. John, St. James, Lafourche, and Terrebonne, and that is until 10 o'clock as we'll continue to see some storms moving in. Again, the main rotation is north of most of Tangipahoa Parish. So if you did get that warning and say you're in the Kentwood area or south, this warning does not pertain to you. But if you live over toward Lewiston, it's just toward the west of Mount Hermon in Washington Parish, you are not under a tornado warning in that area, but you do need to pay attention as this system is pushing off toward the east. So again, as we take a look at what's happening, we've got numerous thunderstorms ongoing. We can check our lightning counter, and we've got some frequent lightning as this is racing off toward the east. You can check some of our indicators here, more times there. Hail, severe hail, a 90% chance. We were talking about the hail indicators there. as the storms are up to 43,000 feet. So that is some pretty heavy rainfall that is coming down. Again, as we widen the view, not too much is happening for the rest of southeast Louisiana. So if you are seeing this and wondering what's going on, we are on for the tornado warning that is for the northern parts of Tangipahoa Parish. So we will continue to carry this coverage as we see that rotation right there near the Mississippi and the Louisiana line. We'll continue to track some storms. You see these out toward the west. As we go through the rest of the evening, I know you're probably saying, hey, I haven't had anything really going on. As this cold front gets closer to our area and we start to see storms like this starting to fire up, that would be my concern that they could turn severe as they continue to push toward the east. So we're not out of the severe weather threat for everyone just yet, as we still are watching this front out toward the west. Let's switch on over to Max 1 if we can, and we can just kind of show you a little bit more of what's happening here as far as the hail indicator is showing up really good here in northern Tangipahoa Parish near the Osyka area. We'll take off the lightning, and that is some pretty good hail that's falling right over the Osyka area. About an inch in diameter, a little bit bigger than that, 1.25 inches, right there at Highway 51, just toward the north of Kentwood, traveling along I-55. If you were planning on traveling here in the next few minutes, hold off until these storms pass up toward Macomb. Next up would be the Tylertown area, and as we are still on the state lines, parts of Washington Parish as well could see some thunderstorms moving in that could be severe. So we're continuing to monitor this situation for you, and we do have that tornado watch still for parts of the South Shore as well. It does not include the New Orleans metro area, and there you can see they've extended that tornado warning to include parts of northern Washington Parish. And again, that will last now until 7:45 is when that new tornado warning has been issued. Again, the northern parts of Tangipahoa Parish, the northern parts of Washington Parish have the potential of seeing a tornado from thunderstorms moving in. There's no confirmation of that at this time, but the reason a tornado warning is issued is there is rotation in the atmosphere that could drop a tornado at any moment for those warned areas. So if you live in Angie, near Varnado, you will want to go into a windowless interior room, put as many walls between you and the outside as you can until these storms pass. But we are tracking where the rotation currently is, so I will walk you through that. If we do have that rotation moving into your area, I can alert you to that. So we'll continue to check some parameters around here. Of course, we've got lightning ongoing. There are a lot of lightning strikes. We're going to check it from Macomb going into Kentwood. There's 616 lightning strikes within the past 15 minutes. Lightning can also be severe too because it can strike trees. We have gusty winds that can knock down trees as well, so that's why it is a good idea to be in your safe place in your home to let those storms pass in case anything like that does happen. We have not gotten any official reports happening. A 41-mile-per-hour wind gust at Macomb with the storm, and they've picked up over 1.25 inches of rainfall in about 14 minutes. That is information straight from the National Weather Service. And so it's a 5-inch-an-hour rain rate. Now, thankfully, that is moving to the east, but it's just giving you an idea of how heavy the rainfall is with this system spanning from Macomb down toward the Kentwood area. Let's go back to Storm Tracker, and so we can take a look at where the rotation currently is. And so we're going to stop this as we get our parameters situated here so we can read this a little better. Zooming into what we have going on here, and of course, what we're looking for is shear, and that is some strong shear now that is approaching Gladhurst and the Emerald area. This is still north of the Louisiana state line as this is moving toward the east. Let's see if we can track where it is. So you see kind of how not too much was happening, and then the rotation started to really get going right there near Osyka as that continues to move toward the east. So this tornado warning has been extended east. It does include the Tylertown area. So if you have friends in any of these cities, Smithburg, Dillon, Kirkland, Dexter, Carto, Lexi, they will want to seek shelter as this is where the main rotation currently is. And then of course we have the hail parameter still showing up. That's for the areas in purple. And so kind of just to get your bearings here so we can see what's going on. Main rotation kind of right around here. This is the state line. This is Osika, so now it has moved east of the Osika area. It's well to the northeast of Kentwood, but this will continue to track toward the east, moving just near Pike County. It is in Pike County now, but just over the northern parts, I'd say right along the state line really, as where we could see that rotation continuing as it moves into the northern parts of Washington Parish. So for you, if you live in the Angie area or Varnado, or any of these locations across the northern parts of Washington Parish, right now that rotation is not close to you, but we're giving you this heads up to let you know that it is going to be passing fairly close to your area, and these strong storms could produce a tornado at any moment. So again, near Tylertown, we'll see that moving in. There's a potential for some large hail to continue with this storm, and a lot of lightning. So a lot of parameters to be focused on here within the next hour or so. Severe thunderstorm warning looks like still ongoing further off toward the west, St. Helena Parish, and moving into Mississippi. We've got another little line of storms moving across central Louisiana. And another thing I wanted to point out, if we switch back over to Max 1, the reason why we still have a tornado watch for parts of our area until 10, I know we haven't had much happening today, and the idea was that we would get storms coming in later into the afternoon and into the evening hours. Until about midnight, we do have that chance for seeing more severe weather across more of our areas. But kind of what I wanted to point out here is we still have a front that's going to be moving through. And so what we have right now is the concentration of storms has been along this warm front. So you can see a lot of rainfall and storm activity just to our north, much like what we had last week, where storms ravaged southwest Mississippi, and all of that is continuing to move off toward the east. However, we start to see these little areas popping up here of some thunderstorm activity, and the fact that we haven't seen much today, in fact, we've had some sunshine through the afternoon, that could help to pop up some storms going into the rest of our evening, and that's where we continue to see a severe weather threat across all of southeast Louisiana for the potential for wind gusts 60 miles per hour or some large hail, and that hail is what we are seeing in these storms across parts of the North Shore. This front is expected to swing through as we get toward around midnight. So once this front moves through, we will see the severe weather threat coming to an end, and you can see it's right there in the southeastern portions of Texas, and you see those storms kind of firing up ahead of that cold front. So that will be our concern as we go into the rest of the evening. Again, if you are just joining us, a tornado warning is currently in effect right along the Mississippi-Louisiana border. It still includes the northern parts of Tangipahoa Parish, and it includes the northern parts of Washington Parish. If you're in Franklinton, you're in Bogalusa, you're in Amite, you're in Hammond, you are not under this tornado warning. This is only for the northern parts of Tangipahoa and Washington parishes, and the reason for that is where the rotation within these storms that could produce a tornado currently is. As we widen the view again, and the reason we continue this coverage, if we have a tornado form, we'll be here to alert you of that. If you're in those areas, you want to seek shelter. In fact, hopefully you know in your house you have a plan in place. If you do see severe weather, of course, we talk about the safe room, and usually for those, again, as we like to mention a lot, a windowless room, the most innermost room on the lowest level of your home. You want to be downstairs, usually in a closet, because that's where you generally have more walls between you and the outside. Sometimes a bathroom is, right, there's only that wall to the outside on a bathroom, and some of them usually have windows, and you wouldn't want that because windows could break if you do have a tornado form and move in your area. So make sure you have that plan in place with your family, not just talking about those in the tornado warned area, but for all of us, always just good to know where you need to go if the weather gets bad, because a lot of the times it happens so quickly, you need to be able to think on your feet and have that plan to move where you need to go. If you're in a mobile home, it's not the best place to be. Hopefully you have identified a place, a sturdy structure that you could go to during severe weather events, before that severe weather gets there. You don't want to try to get out there when you've got, a potential tornado already on the ground. But again, we've got this big cluster of thunderstorms. They've peeled back the tornado warning to drop from Tangipahoa Parish, but they do continue it across parts of Washington Parish. There has been a history of hail within this system, and you see most of that hail cluster is north of Washington Parish. It is heading toward the Tylertown area. So that tornado warning includes Pike County and going into Washington Parish. And we've also got Walthall County in this as well. Golf ball size hail also possible with these thunderstorms. We've been talking about the hail indicator. It's going to be around Mount Herman within the next couple of minutes, around 6:50. Tylertown, you've got about 10 minutes, and Dexter around 7:10. Checking out, it did say golf ball size hail, and so in some of these hail indicators, you can see just over an inch of hail in those areas. Highway 1055 to 25 to 38 and 438 heading toward the Angie area are the areas that are susceptible to that severe weather and that potential for a tornado to form. Let's check wind speeds, because regardless of there being not much in the way of thunderstorms around for the majority of our area, it has been very breezy today. These are sustained winds, 21 miles per hour at Kenner, also toward Houma, Belchase, and Galliano at 18. It'll be interesting to watch the winds in Bogalusa as we see these storms getting a little bit closer. 14 miles per hour, current gusts, 20 at Bogalusa, 24 in Hammond, 32 though for Kenner, Houma, and Galliano. We do have a wind advisory still in effect until 11 o'clock of wind gust 35 miles per hour. And even though we haven't seen much happening today as this front moves in, we still have that tornado watch that's in effect until 10 o'clock on Sunday. The good news that we are seeing here, no reports of an official tornado at this time. Of course, the shear still looks pretty impressive into Mississippi, into Pike County, into Walthall County. But as far as for our area into northern Washington Parish, that rotation may pass just to your north, but we do have that tornado warning that is in effect until 7:45, I believe, for Washington Parish. Yeah, there it is, until 7:45. So about another 55 minutes, rather, that we have that potential, though I do think that it will be gone. That rotation will be gone from our area before that warning reaches that time period. So again, just continuing to track all the parameters here of what's happening with these storms. We've been fortunate that not too much has been happening here in southeast Louisiana. It's been a completely different story for those that are to the north. Southwest Mississippi up toward Jackson has just been getting hammered the past few weeks as we've continued to see rounds of severe weather, and we're in that time period where that severe weather is possible. Storm Prediction Center still highlighting an enhanced risk for severe weather across most of our area. You see the red, that is the greatest threat for strong tornadoes and winds over 75 miles per hour in storms. That's that moderate category from central Louisiana, and that cuts through Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. So for us, again, we still could have that potential for wind gusts, 60 miles per hour, large hail, and isolated tornadoes. Let's walk you through that timing. We'll see the cold front start to move in later into the evening. So by 8 o'clock, another round of some thunderstorms going to be possible. Again, you see not too much happening for much of southeast Louisiana. But what I want to point out, though, is as these storms continue to move in, you see these little areas trying to fire up. That's where we could see some quick spin ups of a tornado, although don't expect everyone to see some severe weather. We do have the ingredients there for some strong storms to form going into the rest of the evening. By 9 o'clock into the North Shore, 10 o'clock starts to move into the South Shore, maybe some lighter rainfall, some weaker thunderstorms moving through. That continues 11 o'clock, starting to move into Mississippi, and then by midnight we'll start to see that front sweeping out, and that will lower the severe weather threat for us overnight. And we'll see some nicer conditions coming in by Monday morning. We'll see a return of some sunshine, and we'll see the heat, the humidity lowering a little bit too to help give us a little bit of relief. As they continue to monitor this tornado warned area, they have trimmed it back a little bit. As we see, most of that rotation now is moving into Walthall County. The lightning strikes looks like it has really increased. So we'll check that within the past. Oh yeah, it's double now what it was when we just checked. Over 1,300 lightning strikes in the last 15 minutes. So what that means is it looks like the storm continues to intensify, And so that is why we'll need to continue to monitor what's happening with this for our friends in northern Washington Parish. Let's go back to Storm Tracker, and we'll take a look at what's happening in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So what I'm doing is, when you see kind of all of these colors, we'll turn the lightning off so we can see what's happening. What we're looking at is which direction the winds are moving. They're either moving towards the radar, which you see in green, or they are moving away. And so what's happening is we've got some winds going this way, you've got some winds going this way, and that is what's creating the rotation. And right now, where you see the green and the red meeting up is actually over Mississippi. So I think for the most part right now, Washington Parish, not looking too bad as far as the potential for a tornado to form, but you still have thunderstorms around and hail that could be moving in. But the potential for this to maybe move slightly further toward the south, that could bring your impacts a little bit higher. And you see right there, they kind of trimmed that tornado warning just a little bit more to the north. So it does still include a little sliver of Washington Parish. And so that is just to the north of Warnerton, the State Line Road, and it does still include the Angie area. But we are looking at the rotation, and again, we'll point it out for you here. Still looks kind of broad in this area between Tylertown and the Dillon area. And what we also can do, so this is taking slices of the atmosphere in the horizontal and vertical directions, and it sends back this information so we can kind of see what's happening up there. And what you are going to see, regardless of the development of a tornado possibility, is you're going to have some strong winds, and that looks pretty strong. If you've got 72 mile per hour winds going outbound and you've got 31 going inbound, you kind of add that up, and it looks like you could have up to 100 mile per hour wind gusts, or not, I'm sorry, I can't add, it's just changed, 103, wow. Miles per hour. And so you look at those kind of indicators, we get all this information in, and that's what could kind of lead to that potential for a tornado to be on the ground. But again, right now, not seeing any ground truth to that. Another thing we can check is our correlation coefficient, and you really look for some brighter colors mixed in this and in that area of rotation. And right now, not seeing that, that may indicate that there's some debris being lifted up in the air, and the radar is capturing that debris. So while we don't see that, that is going to be good news because it means that we are not seeing any indications of that tornado. But unfortunately, we still have that potential for a tornado to form from this. We continue to see the shear markers, and all of this really indicating that it is staying north of the state line. We still are looking at some pretty good shear indicators near Tylertown. Some hail near the Warnerton area may also be possible. And we see some pretty heavy rainfall and a lot of lightning forming. And it looks like it may be trying to make a little notch here, or had one earlier. That would indicate where a rear flank downdraft would be, which just means we could have some potential for a tornado that's trying to form in that area. So we continue to see those thunderstorms really straddling the state line from Mississippi and Louisiana, but still seeing those indicators that rotation is starting to be a little bit further north of our area. So from Tylertown down toward Dillon still, maybe near Lexi, we're seeing a little bit more of a tightening there in between Lexi and the Kirkland area. So Gentown Road, Eli Piggott Road, Les Blackwell Road, if you're in those areas or have family members that live in and around those areas, they will want to seek shelter at this time. Again, we've got those thunderstorms moving through, indications of a possible tornado that's going to be forming here. Right now, do not see any indication that that rotation will be moving into Louisiana. We continue to see it just to the north of our area. So that that tornado warning is still ongoing until 7:45 for Washington and Walthall County. And it looks like they have extended the tornado watch now until midnight for the same areas that had been issued earlier. So bear with me for a second as we take a look. And it looks like they extended it to also include parts of South Mississippi, Washington Parish, and St. Tammany Parish. So it does not include the, let's switch to Max 1 and show you what's happening there. That's the new tornado watch that was just extended, and it is extended until midnight. And so that includes South Mississippi. It's also been extended for Lafourche, Terrebonne, St. John, and St. James parishes. And then newly added Pearl River County, Hancock County, Harrison, all along the Mississippi Gulf Coast. And then St. Tammany and Washington were also added to that tornado watch. Now, what the watch means is the conditions are favorable for a tornado to develop. A warning means we are seeing that rotation, the storms are there, and at any moment a tornado could drop or a tornado is on the ground. So that is the difference between a watch and warning. So we're still going to have several hours tonight that we have that potential for severe weather. We haven't had too much happening across most of southeast Louisiana today. But we'll continue to monitor this as that cold front, as I showed you earlier, continues to push south. Some thunderstorms could start to fire up as you see some rainfall starting to develop, moving into Baton Rouge and just toward the southwest of Lafayette. The tornado warning extended now even further into parts of Mississippi. So now includes Lamar and Marion counties. That's just toward the south of Hattiesburg, as those storms are still moving quickly toward the east, now at about 55 miles per hour. As we are seeing this rotation still centered around northern Washington Parish, but mainly into Mississippi and between Tylertown and Kirkland, that is where my main concern would be for that potential for a tornado to form. We're also looking at a hail risk for northern Washington Parish, but even that main area looks to be moving into Pike County and also into Walthall County. As you see, the blues highlighted here is where the main areas for hail and also that rotation currently is. So we've got this tornado warning. It's until 7:45. Most of this area is for Mississippi. So we are going to be here and we are going to be keeping you updated. I'll come back on as it is needed going into the evening. Of course, that tornado watch extended until midnight. And if there are any more storms that do fire up, or if we see this rotation moving kind of back into Washington Parish, right now I see that staying out of Washington Parish, but if it does start to move back in, we'll get back on and help you through these storms. Tornado watch until midnight, and we'll be here to keep you updated as needed. We'll return you now to your regular programming.